Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Super Mario Galaxy, part 23, I want to say. I think it's part 23. Fellas, in the last episode, we cleared out the rest of the main stars that we have to do in Toy Time Galaxy, and I brought up to you guys that there was going to be the potential, if my memory was serving me correct, that we would have to do a Prankster Comet. And wow, was I right. And I remember exactly what this one is. Do you remember that secret star that we died on in the last episode like 2 or 3 times? Now we have to do it in a FASFO format, and I don't know why. I just think this is not going to go over the way that I'm hoping it will, but maybe everything will be okay. Okay, wait. I think the key here is good God, man. I think the key here is just going to be a whole lot of patience. Okay, so I think now I have to look. Yeah, now we're just doing the ones on the underside. Ooh! But fellas, hope you all are doing well. Patience is key. Fellas, hope you all are doing well. In the last episode, when I was talking a lot about Mario Kart World, I was talking about a lot of stuff regarding the CCs that they basically have in the game, because, you know, we have yet to see anything about 200cc. We also have yet to hear anything about a potential mirror mode, right? Like, so there is, generally speaking, some stuff that we are kind of not in the know-how of yet in regards to the game, which I think is good. You know what I mean? What was that? That was a squish? Like, listen, if it wanted to, like, pull me down gravitationally, right? And, like, squish me down on the floor, that would have been fine. Dog, a mid-air squish is crazy. That's crazy to me. Hello? I've never seen that happen. Here, I'm gonna do this, see if it... Okay, yeah, let me do that. That's crazy. I have legitimately never seen that happen, and that was mind-blowing to me. But so I don't know what that was. Yeah, but fellas, the hit Mario Kart World topic that I kind of wanted to talk about in this episode that I do think is definitely also, I mean, it's something that's more like common knowledge, and it's something that I just kind of wanted to generally talk about. You know, this has obviously been something that's been, it's not a recent topic of discussion, right? This has obviously been something that has been discussed for a little bit now. Oh my God. Is the existence of... Ooh, I kind of want that coin, man. Okay, cool. But it's the existence of... Are we for real right now? The existence of the character roster of this game, because I, as well as many others, are a bit flabbergasted by the character roster. And I think it's not in a bad way. I think some people are treating it like it's a bad thing. I don't think it's honestly all that serious, but for those who haven't seen, some of the most new hit characters that we have gotten new to a Mario Kart game, right? Hit characters such as Cow, obviously world famous Cow. Yes, we're talking the legitimate Moo Moo Meadows Cow. And I'm trying to think about what else we've seen. God, Parabitty-Bud, Conkdor from Mario 3D World. I beg your pardon? That is it is very strange and very wild to me that we are getting these very bizarre enemy characters as roster slots, and I have opinions on that. Okay, dude. Like, you didn't have to do all that. Okay, no, I'm gonna need you to gravitate. What is happening, bro? Are we for real right now? Okay, hold on. Let's just do it this way. But I have some thoughts on it, okay? I have some thoughts on the matter that I really think are important to mention, okay? My thoughts on the roster is that, and I think a lot of people will agree on this, it's a very comedic roster, right? It's a very comedic roster because in what world were we expecting the next Mario Kart game to have the Moo Moo Meadows cow available to play? Fishbone from New Super Mario Bros. Fishbone, dude. Like, the dead fish is a playable Mario Kart character. Okay. Like, now, there are some new additions that I think are just utter peak, and, you know, people who even find the roster weird in a bad way will even tell you, like, the addition of Pianta from Mario Sunshine? Bro, that's pretty fire. That's pretty fire. And most people, oh, this is where Bonefin Galaxy is. It all makes sense now, and I get it. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. This is again what I want to kind of touch on, because there is kind of a small group of people that look at the roster that we have in Mario Kart World and say, well, maybe it's better than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but like we don't need half of these characters. And you know, it could have been filled with actual Mario characters. And I honestly, and I mean this wholeheartedly, I think for me, I don't doubt this kind of claim, right? I really don't doubt this sort of claim. The only sort of problem that I have with it, wholeheartedly, is that there are two characters, okay? There's, you know, I'll actually say this. There is one, by the way, this is intimidating as can be. There is one general series in the sort of Nintendo franchise that Mario Kart is scoped around that I feel like could justifiably have been in Mario Kart World, but they just didn't put it in for whatever reason. God, this thing is so threatening looking. I honestly, I feel like I remember looking at this as a kid and being mad spooked. I mean, just mad spooked, because, like, good God, man. Like, this thing is... Oh, no. Hold on. Wait. That was the sickest snipe I've ever done in my whole life. I didn't even realize. Hold on. Wait, they have a red shell here? Okay, hold on. We'll take that. Go. I don't know how many hits he takes. Oh. God. He is threatening. Oh, the noise isn't... Like, did they... Nintendo, this was like... You know what? This is Mario Galaxy's equivalent of the Mario 64 reel, right? I think this is Mario Galaxy's equivalent of the Mario 64 reel, because, like, what in God's name, bro? Like, it is... Oh, no! Oh, no. Wait, I want the star bits first before I get any of these bubbles. But, like, no, dude, it's so threatening looking. But, yeah, so kind of back to what I was talking about. Again, I think some people... I think the one sort of Nintendo franchise that is represented in Mario that I think could have afforded to have more options in Mario Kart World, but just simply didn't get them in favor of all of these weird and wacky characters that we got in Mario Kart World. Donkey Kong. I kind of don't... So here's the thing. There are two characters in specific, and two characters I really like, honestly, that I think should have had a chance, but they just never... They're nowhere to be seen. That is Diddy Kong and Funky Kong. Where are they? And you know, okay, quick side note, and I'm hoping that if I... Okay. that only took ages, but, you know, we eventually got there, right? But this is a little side tangent, and so hopefully I won't forget my original thought point behind, you know, Mario Kart World characters. But side note, where is Diddy Kong right now? Because I don't know if any of you guys have noticed, ever since the Switch 2 got revealed. Now, of course, there's three main there's a lot more third-party than three. But there's three main first-party games that have been revealed right now, those being Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and, God, what is it? Donkey Kong Bonanza and Kirby Air Riders, right? Those are, or Kirby Air Ride 2. That's an easier way to say it to me, honestly. But, you know, those are the big three first-party games to be revealed. Obviously, Diddy Kong is not going to be seen in Kirby Air Ride. I don't think you need me to tell you that. That's just obvious, right? That's obvious stuff. You don't need me to tell you that. But like, we don't see him in Mario Kart World at all, and we also have yet to see him at all in Donkey Kong Bonanza. Now, I think there's a technical argument you could say that, like, hey, I would prefer if you didn't hit that. I would prefer if you hit this. This is very reminiscent, by the way. Oh, that's just, like, mean, man. That's just, like, not nice, and you need to be nice. But, like, plain and simple, I feel like something that just shocked me is that the only semblance of Diddy Kong that we've seen so far in Donkey Kong Bonanza was in that initial, like, reveal trailer we got at the end of the Switch 2 Direct. There were little, like, robotic-looking chimp characters that looked pretty much like Robo Diddy Kongs, right? That's kind of what we saw, but, like, we have no actual sighting of Diddy Kong themselves, and I don't know if maybe this is because they are wanting to work with something in terms of a, you know, they're still trying to kind of fester up a redesign for Diddy Kong, maybe, kind of in the same vein as Donkey Kong, but I kind of feel like that can't be the case in a weird way. Like, I don't know. I feel like it can't be the case simply because I think a lot of the things about these whole redesigns we've been getting, by the way, the return of King Caliente, very, very cool. But a lot of the whole thing, to me, with these redesigns is that they're all based off of a previous IP, or not IP, but a previous game that they harness back to make them look maybe a little more old school, right? And I think the only thing with Diddy Kong is that, you know, with Donkey Kong, the clear inspiration behind Donkey Kong's new design was the original design that I believe Miyamoto envisioned before Rare came on, right? And it looks great, in my opinion. I know some people have a sort of differing opinion of said design. Ooh, no, oh, no. That was the farthest coconut I've ever seen in my life. Oh, no! Okay, cool. That was... Oh my god, we're only at 12 minutes. Guys, this is an awkward spot for this episode to be in, which I'll talk about in a minute. I may actually make this video a bit more of like a 15-minute sort of episode, or maybe a much shorter episode, because this is just not the spot I was expecting to end it in, and it would kind of feel weird to start the next dome in this episode, but so I apologize if this is a slightly shorter episode as a result, but yeah, like, the problem with Diddy, right, is that Diddy, I believe... I don't know for sure, but I don't think Diddy was introduced until Donkey Kong Country, so all they would have to go off of if they wanted to go all the way back in terms of, you know, really trying to reach for a Diddy design is just the exact same design he has now, you know, the Rareware design. So I'm just kind of sitting here wondering, like, what are they going to do about that? But also it leaves me with the general question of, like, you know, why can't they just use his rare design? Because there has actually been footage, and maybe I talked about this during an episode where I talked about Donkey Kong Bonanza. There has literally been footage of Cranky Kong being in Donkey Kong Bonanza, and he's just using his rare design. I mean, Cranky is literally just his rare design, so it's like, it's this very strange thing that, honestly, I really am just kind of confused by, right? I'm very much kind of confused as to why they can't just use Diddy's rare design. Of course, Diddy could still show up in Donkey Kong Bonanza, and we just have yet to see him, but I think there's a very likely chance that Diddy's just not going to be in Mario Kart World, at least at launch, unless they plan to add him in like a DLC pack. I don't really know, but yeah, I don't know. Just very strange stuff all around. Okay. So, fellas, I know that I said I had a conversation topic that I was going to get back to, but I'm kind of realizing that I feel like this is a very weirdly structured episode because, honestly, I don't want to start a new dome in the middle of an episode. So, fellas, even though it's 5 minutes earlier than usual, that's going to do it for this episode of Super Mario Galaxy. We're on the last dome of the game, guys. I just want to make that known. We're on the last dome of the game. We're going to clear through everything that is currently going to be available straight off the rip. You know, and then after that, we're going to we're gonna do the final boss. So I think that's the game plan. But fellas, for now, that's gonna do it for this episode of Super Mario Galaxy. Fellas, if you enjoyed this video, maybe like, comment, subscribe. I don't know, it's your life. Do what you want. I don't really care, and I will see you fellas in the next video. Bye bye, guys.